You've woken up more mornings than you care to count, feeling stuck, asking yourself, when will things finally shift? You push, hustle, hope, yet the same walls remain. But what if the barrier isn't out there, but inside you? What if the real obstacle is your inner frequency? Joe Dispenza, once skeptical and now a guide between science and spirit, proposes something daring. You don't have to force reality into alignment. You simply need to tune into a space where your desired outcome already exists, and in doing so, you might begin to manifest without struggle. When Dispenza speaks of quantum manifestation, he isn't offering a shallow wish and it's gone formula. He teaches that what you perceive as fixed reality, walls, routines, limitations, is energy in flux, responding to consciousness. This is where the concept of a quantum field becomes pivotal, a subtle matrix of infinite possibility with which your thoughts and emotions interact. Manifestation, in his teachings, ceases to be merely external pursuit and becomes an act of inner convergence, collapsing possibility into actuality. Many reduce this to the classic law of attraction. Think positive, get what you want. Dispenza goes deeper. He says true manifestation emerges when your mind and your heart vibrate in unison. If you merely think about abundance but feel scarcity, your signal is conflicted. Only when you feel your desire is real does your frequency align. That is how your internal state summons external reflection. Think of it like tuning a radio. Intent is the station, emotion is the dial, and only when they sync do you hear the music. He borrows imagery from quantum mechanics. A particle exists in multiple states until observed, to suggest that your consciousness acts similarly. By focusing with intention and emotional clarity, you collapse a potential into form. Though quantum physics in its full rigor deals with subatomic systems, Dispenza uses it as an explanatory metaphor to bridge inner work and outer results. In his view, your attention is not passive, it's a creative force. Take someone who yearns to shift careers. According to Dispenza, the journey begins inward. You don't merely declare, I want change. You embody it. You meditate, you visualize with sensory richness, you feel gratitude in advance. Something as simple as spending 10 minutes each morning imaging yourself already in that dream role is your daily calibration to the quantum field. You begin to broadcast, this is my state now. In his framework, thoughts become current, and emotions become the magnet that carry that current outward. If you vibrate scarcity, that's your magnet. If you vibrate abundance, you attract possibility. A practical tool. Note, whenever fear or doubt arises, pause, reshift, train your internal system to re-emit clarity. Over time, your inner environment becomes the signal that draws the external. Of course, disbelief can creep in. Dispenza invites you not to take it on blind faith, but to experiment. People report healing, synchronicities, life redirection. Could they be coincidence? Possibly. But in his paradigm, they're evidence of coherence between inner state and outer manifestation. The line between miracle and method blurs. He emphasizes that manifestation is inseparable from inner transformation. You can't call new reality into being while dragging your old identity along. He teaches emotional reprogramming, clearing limiting beliefs, updating your emotional body, shifting your baseline. Over time, your internal state becomes so strong, it acts like a gravitational force. This union of spirituality, neuroscience, and personal development draws many people in. It's not fluff. It asks for mastery of your inner world. And once you realize you're not a passive bystander, but a co-author, you see that living on default mode simply isn't tenable. You break the cycle, begin to operate intentionally. Underneath this lie the mechanisms that power his method. The quantum field, in his language, becomes the invisible stage upon which your inner signals play. Your thoughts and emotions broadcast frequencies into it. He teaches you coherence, especially brain-heart alignment, as the clarity amplifier. To observe with presence is to collapse potential. Emotions act as carriers. Low feelings disperse, high feelings focus. He demands emotional purification. You can't create elegant futures from a cluttered internal basement. And central to this model is acting as if, living from the future now. This system, however, draws critique. Many scientists caution that terms like quantum, frequency, and vibration get stretched far from physical meaning. The leap from particle physics to personal transformation is vast. The evidence offered, testimonials, coherence graphs, rarely passes academic peer review. Some find a spiritual blame game in it. You didn't manifest because your vibration was off. That burden can crush those already fragile. Moreover, some resonate so deeply with the doctrine that they neglect grounded action, waiting for the universe rather than stepping boldly into life. Yet, even skeptics must concede. Internal change matters. Shifting your beliefs, elevating your emotions, aligning your thoughts, these have measurable effects on behavior, perception, opportunity. So whether or not your thoughts literally bend atoms, the internal work is real. The most wise approach, then, is integrative. Use what resonates, question what feels overblown, align with your lived truth. To give this structure, one might imagine a tree of manifestation. At its root, clarity of intention. Refine exactly what you want, in great detail. The next layer, emotional fuel, infusing desire with feeling, charging your signal. The trunk, alignment and purification, clearing out internal discord and belief noise. Within that, coherence, harmonizing brain and heart into unified signal. Further up, sustained focus and repetition, daily practices of visualization, anchoring, mental rehearsal. Then comes interaction with the quantum field. You broadcast your signal, participate in possibility, but you don't stop there. Physical congruent action is required. The universe opens doors, you walk through them. Alongside that, feedback loops. Check your emotional state, reset, recalibrate, refine. Finally, gratitude and surrender. Thankfulness in advance, releasing tight control of how and when. That whole structure becomes your map, but the map doesn't replace the walking. You must embody, test, rest, tweak, persist. Let's walk through a concrete example, manifesting a meaningful job. First, define it clearly. Title, function, environment, values. Next, surface limiting beliefs. I'm not good enough. No one will hire me. Use journaling, breathwork, release ceremony. Then, visualize your day in that job. Feel the pride, the energy, the flow. Live as if, dress like someone thriving in that role, read material in the field, build your habits upward, take tangible steps, update profiles, send out resumes, network, learn, monitor your inner state. When doubt arises, reset. Each night, record gratitude for what is coming, not yet arrived. Release the strict timing. With time, your identity shifts, and the external begins to reflect the internal. Now, let's open deeper doors. Dispenza suggests that consciousness helps sculpt reality. In physics, observation is technical, not mystical, but he reframes it. Your attention chooses. Perhaps consciousness is the light source in the field, revealing what you will. He also posits that multiple future selves already exist, and you tune into the one you resonate with. The notion of retrocausality, future influencing present, is speculative, but as metaphor, it lets you act from the future. That reorients how you live. Presence matters. The moment you truly inhabit now is the only place manifestation can root. Your environment, the media you consume, the people around you, acts as energetic feedback, and at the deepest level, you attract not what you want, but who you are. Become first, attract second. This entire narrative, woven with manifestation, Joe Dispenza, law of attraction, and quantum mechanics, forms a living tapestry. It invites you to move from dreaming to doing, from passive longing to conscious creation. The map is detailed, the path is yours. So, here's where we land. How many more mornings will you wake up feeling powerless? How many more desires will you silence as impossible? You feel that ache, in stagnation, in regret, in the quiet erosion of potential. That pain echoes for a reason. It calls you to shift. You don't need another distant miracle. You need to wake the miracle within. Will you stay in the loop of waiting, or will you begin co-creating your next chapter? You might ask, when will this happen? But the wise answer is, it already does. When your inner world changes, the external will follow. So ask, who do you choose to be right now? What will you call into existence from your new frequency? If this message stirred something, comment which part resonated most. Subscribe, tap the bell, stay close. In upcoming sessions, we'll go even deeper, step by step, so you learn not just to wish, but to become the creative architect of your reality.